والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. رب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إذ تصعدون ولا تلون على أحد والرسول يدعوكم في أخراكم فأثابكم غما بغم لكي لا تحسنوا على ما فاتكم ولا ما أصابكم والله خبير بما تعملون. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So previously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned past couple of days, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after warning us not to follow the people who do not follow Him and do not follow His Rasul and follow their desires, which was significant for them. It's also extremely significant for us. This morning I was reflecting a little bit, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but when we say غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, we have in this dhalin, we have what we call in the ilm of tajweed, mad al-muttasil al-tawil. It's 6 harakat, it's a very long mad. So maghdubi alayhim is short, dhalin is very long. So those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's anger has descended upon them are quite a significant number, but the people who are off the track, they don't know where they're headed, is a huge amount of humanity. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't follow the people who don't know, the people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent His anger upon, the people whom have totally lost their way. They have no map, they have no compass, they have no clue where they came from, what they're doing here, and where they're headed. Don't follow them, don't obey them. Obey Allah and His Rasul. Right? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that also, and we could have mentioned that yesterday, but the time was short, so we'll mention today. So thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions سَنُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ, and we mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will strike fear into the hearts of the people of kufr. And we mentioned also the hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and how among the khasa'is, or the special favors given to him and to this ummah, that he has been helped by this fear which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts into the enemies from the distance of a month's journey. And so this actually took place. Now, before we get into the actual events as they took place, which is what we started reading today, as the rout starts taking place and the Muslims are fleeing, and then what ensues after that. However, here, before that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about that fear that He would put in the hearts of the disbelievers. Now, after the rout of the Muslims takes place, and we're going to see that after the Muslims have fled, and then ultimately, there's a standoff, and then there's a dialogue, very amazing dialogue between Abu Sufyan and between actually Umar radiallahu ta'ala, who replies from the side of Rasulullah to him. So now the mushriks who are outnumbering the Muslims, as it was previously in Badr, and so now what's preventing them just to finish them off? They came there to do away with Islam and Muslims, right? So why didn't they just finish them off at that point? But they didn't. And they went, they started heading back. In the meantime, on the way, they start thinking, wait a minute, why don't we just go back and finish them off once and for all and then be done with this, And so as soon as they get this idea in their head, already Nabi ﷺ had been informed through revelation that this was a plot and plan. So Nabi ﷺ preempted and got the Sahaba together and took out after them. Rather than remaining on the defensive, take the offensive. Rather than being reactive, be proactive, right? So Nabi ﷺ was Sahaba, after even that calamity and after that, a very traumatic routing. So now they prepare to head out after and amazingly, mushrikeen, when they come to find out that the Muslims are coming, they lose heart. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the fear into their hearts, even though they were much stronger apparently in terms of adad and udad, with their numbers and their equipment as they were from the beginning. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this fear in their heart. And so they took off and they ran. And they sent somebody to Medina saying that we're coming and we're going, but they never showed up. And actually this was called Ghazwa Hamra al-Asad. So at Hamra al-Asad, so where it was supposed to take place, and the mushrikeen fled. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came and فَانْقَلَبُوا بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَفَضْلٍ لَمْ يَمْسَسْهُمْ سُوءٌ. And so nothing happened to the Muslims, rather, but moreover, there was benefits for them in that going to that place, and there was some selling and buying and whatever. And anyway, they came back with not only a physical victory, but a very emotional and a very psychological victory as well, after that great trauma coming back. And so, inshallah, tomorrow we'll again begin with the discussion and the mention, the narrative of what actually took place in Uhud, in the routing, and what the many lessons that inshallah to be learned from that. I just want to give us tawfiq. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.